in Paris time and it's 2 p.m. in GMT, and I think it's 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, I believe, no matter where you are in the world. Here we are, and it's Chat with Kat again, because I made it a thing. So welcome. If anyone is going to swing by today and have a chat with me about, can we be sweary and spiritual? This is the conversation of today. So I'd love to open up this conversation here because I think it's really, really important for us to have these awarenesses. You know, that's what all of this work that I do is about. It's about awareness. And when we are aware of all of these questions that we have about the world, we can start to navigate a little bit differently. We can start to make different choices. We can start to find our own truth. We can start to be in different places than perhaps where we were previously. So welcome to you if you are going to come and join me today in this chat with Kat, and welcome to you if you're also watching on the replay. Thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate it when you pop in and have a conversation with me. So like I say, today we're talking about Sweary and Spiritual. Controversial conversation. The reason that I wanted to have this conversation today is because it's actually been something for me that I've been working through. Can we be truly the person that we are in everything that we do? Is that possible? Can we actually be the fullness of ourselves in everything that we do? So that's a question for you. Are you being the fullness of yourself in everything that you do? I can pretty much guarantee that the answer is, when I think about it, not entirely. But again, this comes back to our previous conversations about where we are finding our truth, where we are finding our navigation in this world, where we are finding where we are making our moves from, or our actions or reactions to this world. So for me, one of the things that I've been embracing is the fact that actually I am a little bit sweary. I am, in a nice way, a little bit sweary. And anyone who ever has a session with me will know that we do actually use the odd little swear word here and there. Good morning to everybody who's popping in. Thank you so much for being here. Kathy, Joanna, I know John's here as well. Hi, it's so lovely to see you. So we're having a conversation about, can we be spiritual and sweary? And I truly believe that our ability to be the fullness of ourselves in every single piece of us is how we are most spiritual in this world. Owning the fullness of ourselves and being aware of the truth of who we are and bringing that entirety into this world is the epitome of spirituality. It is making our soul, our essence, our very makeup, you know, every piece of life that we've been through, every single piece of us being made real in this world is the truth of spirituality. That's what we're here to be. Because I truly believe that we are standing and walking and being in this world as a reflection, as a creation, as a weaving of these soul essences that we have chosen before we were born into this world to be a mashup of all of these things which were made real because of the lineage we chose to be in, the family dynamics we arrived in. All of the experiences of life have made us a very unique pinprick of energy frequency in this world. And that's what we're here to be. That. The entirety of you. That. In this moment. And I've talked about this before, where the crew, my spirit collective, have explained in very many channels now that we're here to be the weavers of the new. We are here to be the weavers of a new reality. And we do that by owning the fullness of ourselves, by being 100% of who we are in this moment, in this breath, in this choice, in this creation of life, by being the me-ness of me right now. And that means that I weave one piece of a whole new weaving of reality, along with all of the millions of others of us who've chosen to be here now, to be the visionaries, the light bringers, the new creators of a new reality based on our ability to be who we are. Because we all brought with us what we are meant to be. And for anybody who's sort of my age, which, getting on a little bit now, we've been working and working and working to strip away what we believed were the barriers against who we are. But we're not just working for ourselves in doing that work. When we heal ourselves in the now, we heal every existence of ourselves in the past and in the future, in the entire lineage, and every single person that we come into contact with. We are creating a new weaving from the reality of ourselves in this world right now. How cool is that? We are literally that powerful for making these choices and being the fullness of ourselves. And so for me, that means that doing my most powerful work means that it comes through my particular language, my particular filter, which has been created from my existence so far in this world. And I was born into the 1980s, where, we were creating a language which was based on, I know if anybody else is sort of my age, we were watching Beverly Hills Cop, and every single film that we had, every single second word was an F-bomb or a this or a that. It just became part of our language. It isn't the energy of it being offensive. It is just part of our language. And so being that fullness of me and not holding back who I am and how I communicate, that means that I'm being the most powerful version of me in that moment. So we have to think about now what sweariness kind of actually means. Because the work that I'm bringing through, the work that I'm guided to create in this world, is using these terms that I know that if you're here listening to me, you're actually here because I am shining into these world, these frequencies and these messages of like, what the fuck awakenings? And like, seriously, what the fuck? This is how we are communicating. If you're in connection with me, you get it, because that's our language. And when we are doing our most powerful work and owning the fullness of ourselves, that means owning every single piece of us, including our language. And that also means that we have to be okay with the fact, especially if we are spiritual entrepreneurs, soul-led warriors, we are here in this world to be an inspirer or a teacher. It means we have to be okay with not everybody's gonna like that. But that's brilliant, because there are thousands of teachers in this world that are all shining their own particular frequency to be able to attract to them the people that are waiting for a very sweary channeler, which is what I am. So it doesn't mean that we are being less than. It means that actually, if we are owning our own vibrational spirit here in this world, we are using our language, we are using what we are in this world, we are using every piece of ourselves. So let's just break this apart a little bit further. Because when we talk about being a bit sweary, there's two pieces of an understanding about what this is. Because what I've described is my use of language. So for me, when I drop an F-bomb, whether it's in conversation or in a one-to-one session or whatever it is, there is no offense in that. I do not use these words and give the energy of offense with them. They are simply words, simply labels, simply a way of expressing part of a conversation. I had a lovely conversation with one of my best friends this morning, and we were laughing our heads off and dropping F-bombs here, there and everywhere. And there was no offense in those words. So where does the offense actually come from? Where does that arrive? And we need to understand how we break apart language and how language is used. Because every word that we speak, it's not the word, it's the energy behind it that we read. It's the energy behind it that we feel. It's the energy behind it that we communicate. So anybody who has been in a situation where you've had somebody really having a go at you, really having a go, they could be shouting at you and saying, fish cakes, bananas, polecats. The word doesn't make any difference. It's the energy behind it that we're reading. And as we are all here now, as feeling connected, expanded humans living here now, we are getting more and more feeling in this world. This is how we are finding our truth. This is how we are finding our own choices. This is how we're cutting through all of the noise of the world by being aware that we are reading the energy of the world. And so this understanding of it's not the word itself, it's the energy behind it. And understanding that means that we can navigate this world a little bit easier. Because not every time that you come across a swear word on the internet will it be meant in that way. And this again is another reason why, you know, third-party communication is so difficult, especially for us empaths in the world. You know, third-party conversations, we read text messages, and we can feel energy behind those words, even in the text messages. And sometimes this is why we get ourselves a little bit tied up, because we're not sure of what that means, and we can get ourselves all a bit, don't understand that. So as we are, more and more sensitive here in the world, we are learning how to navigate this world through sense, through feeling, through the vibration of energy, rather than words, rather than the imagery that we're sent, rather than, believing everything that's put in front of us. We're here making different choices. Like I say, we are weaving this new world based on our ability to be a questioner. Our ability to go, I need to understand that more. I need to ask another question to understand that more. And then we get into this second part of language, which is our responsibility for how we receive language, for how we interpret language, how we are filtering through our own filters of this world language that comes to us. So as I say, I am bringing my most powerful work, and it uses the occasional F-bomb in there. I've just finished off an ebook, and there's a lot of F's in there. But it's absolutely in alignment with the work and the filter and who I am, and how to explain these things to the people who are waiting to read those words. It's exactly what those people need to hear in the language that they're waiting to hear it. Because I am aware of my ability to be a light in this world, and that means bringing the fullness of myself. But it also means that it's not actually my responsibility for how that is received in the reception of it by someone else. That is the other person's responsibility. And again, this is the lesson of now. It is understanding of our reactions to absolutely everything in this world. Absolutely everything in this world. So if I'm triggered by a piece of language, if I'm triggered by something that comes in front of me, it's my job and my responsibility to figure that out, to question, to go into this state of question, into this state of curiosity, into this state of, why am I reacting to that in this way? Because as I say, it's not words, it's not the actual word. It's our reaction to the word through our learned behavior, through these layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of complex weavings of understandings of the solidity of the world that have been the subject of the last few channels that I've shared in my podcast Reality Poke, which, this is what we do in there. We talk about these subjects and we pull them apart. And so this question is the natural lead on to everything. And that's why I'm bringing it up now. Because we're finding truth, we're finding making our choices, and all of that comes from us having a responsibility to navigate our own curiosity to our own triggers, to our own feelings about the world, to our own understandings of what truth is. So can we be Sweary and spiritual? Absolutely. Because the energy that I am putting out into the world through those words is exactly the full power of me. And the energy of those words is kindness. The energy of those words is not offensive. The energy of those words is meant to be a signpost and a beacon to those people in the world who are waiting to hear the spiritual speak in that language. And if you're hearing it and you're feeling offended, then this is your responsibility now to actually pick that apart and go, what's my learning around this? Why am I so offended by this? What is in me? Who am I being right now? How am I being reactive to this? Where is my understanding of this coming from? Really get into this state of questioning, this state of understanding who we are, this state of understanding life itself as being layers on layers on layers of programmed beliefs and understandings and solidity of this world around us that have made us, through our filters, believe words to mean something. But we're all moving beyond that now. We're all moving into a state of feeling our way. We're all moving into an expanded state of connectedness where we're registering energy, we're registering frequency, we're making choices based on that energy, not just on words. And the other thing we have to understand as well is language evolves. Language evolves so quickly. If you think, I don't know, I'm showing my age here, but when I was growing up, we only had 3 TV channels to start off with. I remember a 4th and then a 5th arriving. Now we've got millions. But there used to be, on a Sunday morning, you would get the old black and white films would come on a Sunday morning. And the language of the old English pilots, you know, that how they spoke, if you ever listen to a really old film from back in the day, you will see that language has evolved. If you ever pick up a Shakespeare book, you will see that language has evolved. The world evolves around us, shifting, changing, and becoming something new constantly. And that includes the language, the mannerisms, the way of our behaviors, the being of ourselves in this world. We are all evolving and moving forward. And so that means that we have to allow language and how we are perceiving language to also evolve. So as you're going about your week, you know, just listen to how you may be judging other people because of their language, how you may be referencing yourself differently than who they are because of languages that are used. But that element of separateness, that element of judging, if we can rein it back into a energy of questioning of ourselves, then we are absolutely quickly undoing and unweaving any solidity that we have. And that's our job now. That's our work here now, is to unweave the solidity of thinking and belief and structures and layers and everything that already exists. This is our work here now, to be the bringers of the new. And so can we be Sweary and Spiritual? I mean, yes, we absolutely effing can. We absolutely can. So I hope that you agree with me there. But to be honest, if you don't, this is a really fascinating thing to unpick and unpack and learn. Where's that behavior come from? Where is that teaching coming from? Who is that voice that I'm hearing inside of me that is judging this? There's so much of ourselves that we can unpick, unweave, and recreate from when we're willing to be in this state of constant questioning. So let me know what you think to that. Joanna, yeah. Joanna says, agreed, I'm also a bit sweary and I feel I'm spiritual. Absolutely. Joanna, yay! High five to Joanna. See, this is exactly what it's all about, because you and me, we absolutely just know that this is our language. This is what we use. And the energy of like, yes, is absolutely infused through that language that you're using there. This is why this conversation is so important. And anyway, I'm just going to hang about for a little bit because I've got some exciting stuff to tell you about as well. But please pop me any questions up there or any comments if you'd like to, if you're joining me live. And if you're on the replay, pop me some stuff out there as well. Didn't have tea today, just had some water. It was a water kind of day. Yeah, Joanna, it's funny, isn't it? Because this is what we use. So in this state of understanding, on my website today, I've just done it today. If you go to uninvented.life/navigating now, I have opened the doors today to a live event, a live Zoom event, where I am going to be channeling the crew live. And the subject of this session on Wednesday, the 27th of April, is called WTAF, being an awakened human in a world that makes no sense. And that is what we're going to be talking about in this live session. We're actually going to do a reality poke and we're going to do it live. So we're going to talk about what the actual fuck moments when we're looking around at the world and it makes absolutely no sense to us. And we have one of these awakened moments where we are just in this world going, what happened there? And we're going to talk about how we can find navigation in this world now that is moving so quickly that we're feeling unsteady in. That we're looking around and we're going, hang on a minute, that makes no sense to me. Why are we doing that? So the crew have really encouraged me to start doing some of these live events. And it is open to everybody. So it is a pay what you can, pay what you wish to support my work. So it's open now. You can sign up on the website, uninvented.life/navigating now. You can choose how you want to support me on that day. You can just go and sign up at the bottom. The minimum, I can't actually do it for zero because of the technicalities of the thing, but you can choose the amount that you want to pay to support to come on that live Zoom event. And how it's going to work is we're going to have a conversation about it. Then I'm going to channel through the crew and we are going to talk through the crew with their perspective on how we make choices, what truth is, being okay when everything feels like it's not okay. This perspective from my spirit and energy collective, the crew, we're going to be bringing that through live in this event. Then we're going to have a little refreshment break, or also known as nip for a quick pee, come back, and then I'm going to be sharing with you a human toolkit for us human beings, because it's all right going off and talking about, you know, greater perspectives and understanding ourselves and bringing this amazing wisdom through, but sometimes we do actually need a human being toolkit of how the fuck to get through these things. And so the toolkit that I'm going to be bringing through is the WTAF toolkit, which again was downloaded to me through my filter, which is a little bit sweary, from the crew. And the WTAF toolkit is what we can use when our human being gets completely freaked. When those moments where we're just literally like, I have no idea what to do here. And in the toolkit, it gives us a way to understand and filter our feelings, understanding our now, and then being able to take one aware and awakened step forward to be able to move forward. So this is how these navigating now live events are going to be, and I think it's going to be a series. So it won't be just one, but this one is on Wednesday, the 27th of April. And like I say, I've tried to make it as accessible to everybody as I can. So you can just go to my website and go to uninvented.life/navigating now. And you can choose how you want to support and how you want to join that event. And then it'll all happen amazingly, magically, hopefully, fingers crossed, technicals will all work and you'll get a Zoom link sent straight to you. And then I'll see you there. And we're going to have, hopefully, if you are there live on the event also, I'm going to open it up to Q&A with the crew at the end, and we'll hopefully, if we've got time, do a few direct questions with people that are there, you know, and just make this accessible and make this really something that we can be part of community about. So I'm really, really excited to do that. Also owning the fact that it is a little bit sweary, and also incredibly deep, incredibly spiritual, incredibly bringing of wisdom. And if that's what you like as a mashup, then you're going to love it. So I'd love to see you there. I'm going to put the link and all of the details in the comments here, whether you're watching this live or on replay on YouTube or on Facebook. I'm going to put those links in there. Just give me a few minutes to do that after we've closed the session today. And yeah, it's going to be fun. So I'd love to see you there. So how does that make you feel, guys? How are you feeling about owning your little bit sweariness now? Let's have a look at a few of these comments. Do you want to? Please do come. It'll be fun. Jill, thank you so much for being here. And yeah, these what the fuck moments. I mean, this is what... Hang on. This is my proof printout of how to drive your human. A What the Fuck Awakening Quick Start Manual. This is going to be up also on my website within the next couple of days. And it's completely free, 34 pages. Bit of a whopper, but it's readable over a brew, which is what we like. You know, we like these things to be like, give me a cup of tea, let me read it with a brew. Just a good amount of information to get us thinking. And yeah, I'd love to see you. You know, if you want to come along on the 27th, I'll put all those links together. Thank you for being here today. I love these chats with Kat. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Fucking marvellous, John. Yes, absolutely. I'd love to see you all there. So if nobody's got any more comments, I'm going to sign off. We've done half an hour. Thank you ever so much for being here. If you do get all the way through this and you're watching in replay, thank you ever so much for being here. Thank you to everybody that's watching live. You can find all of my information about how you can work with me. If you want to have a one-to-one session with the crew, all of the information about there is on my website, which is uninvented.life. And like I say, this event, I've put the page together today. You guys are the first to hear about it. So we are limited to numbers on Zoom, but you know, there's plenty. So come along, uninvented.life/navigating now. And all of the details are on there. It's going to be a live channeled event. So you get to hear the crew live. Woohoo! Which is something that, you know, a lot of people on my one-to-one sessions feel it's a really extraordinary experience. So I'd love to see you there. So Fiona, thank you. Thank you to everybody who's been here today. Huge, huge, huge love. And I will see you next week, if not before, here on Chat with Kat. And do send me a message, PM me, if there's something you'd like to have a conversation about, if there's something you'd like to pick apart. You know, I'd love to do that for you too. So, bye for now.